Hello students, today let us learn projection of cylinder in Solidworks in drawing mode. Select drawing, click on OK, select A4, switch off this display sheet format, custom sheet size 297 210. Just swap the dimensions, click OK, observe the units, mmgs, scale is 1:1, right click on sheet 1, properties, select first angle projection, apply changes. So these are the initial settings. Then go to zoom to fit. You can fit the sheet according to the screen size. Similarly, you can zoom in and zoom out using the scroll button in the mouse. Okay. So let us solve the question now. I have copied the question. Now I will be pasting it here. So the question is on cylinder. A cylinder of base circle diameter 50, axis length 65 mm, rests on one of its base point on HP with its axis inclined at 45 degrees to HP and 30 degrees to VP. Draw the projections. Right? So let us start this problem. Go to sketch, go to line, draw XY line. Draw XY line, it should be horizontal. Next, go to circle, draw a circle of diameter 50. Draw a circle, go to smart dimension, click on the circumference of the circle, give the dimension as 50. How to remove 00 is go to options, document properties, dimensions, trailing zeros, under dimensions, say remove, click OK. After this, go to line, from the center draw a line to the circumference, then use circular sketch pattern to create 8 parts. Okay, so go to circular sketch pattern, click here, select the center around which you want to rotate the circle. How many I want 8 parts, mention 8. Which line you want to create a pattern? I want to create a pattern from this line, click OK. So this is how you can divide a circle into 8 equal parts. Select 8, click on 8 and say delete. So press delete in your keyboard. I have created 8 parts. Now I'll drop projectors. Projectors from the end generators. So these lines are called end generators. Physically, these end generators are not seen on the cylinder. It is for construction purpose. We divide it and we give the name as end generators. So which will be helping us to create the ellipse in the coming positions. So go to line, draw an axis line. So here you can see in the question 65 mm is the axis height. So go to smart dimension, give the height as 65. After this, select this line, make it to chain type, select the circle, make it to 0.5. Okay. Now let us draw the front view of this. So start from the outside point, use alignment indicator, make the outermost. So this should be of 0.5 mm because cylinder in front view will be seen as a rectangle. So connect this to this. You can extend it beyond it. Later you can trim it if there is a problem. Okay. Now let us name this now. So notation, note. So type A of A1. So the top face will be of A, B, C, D, E. The base will be of A1, B1, C1, D1, E1 like that. So total 8 parts are there. A of A1, B of B1, C of C1, D of D1, E of E1, F of F1, G of G1, H of H1. Like this, create 8 points, then drag it, place it nearer to the parts which you have created. A, B, C, D. This is E. This is F. This is F. Similarly, this is G. And this is H. Okay. After this, you should name the front view also. You can see here, top face is ABCD. So this is a single point is there. So I'll name this as A dash. Similarly, you can see B and H are coinciding. So I should name it as B dash in bracket H dash. Okay. B dash in bracket H dash. Next. So this point is O of O1. So O of O1. This is your axis. Similarly, here you should name this point as O dash. There are two more points, which are those C and G. So you can name this as C dash in bracket G dash. Okay. Similarly, here we have two more points, D dash in bracket F dash. The last point is E dash. Okay. So place it nearer the points. After this, use Control key and select the multiple text. Control C for copy. Then zoom into this location. Click to where you want to paste. Control V. So now I should keep adding one. A1 dash, B1 dash, H1 dash, C1 dash, G1 dash, O1 dash, okay. Similarly, you should name this as D1 dash, F1 dash. This is E1 dash. Okay. So either you can rest A1 or E1 when you go to the next position. So let me name XYVPHP, capital X, capital Y, VP, HP, right? So after this, drag it, place it here. X, this is VP, this is HP, and this is Y. Okay. Zoom in and place it precisely. Okay. Use scroll button to zoom in and zoom out. So in the question they are given axis is inclined at 45 degrees to HP. So right now it is perpendicular to HP. Now we will incline the axis with respect to HP by 45 degree. So let me go to copy entities. Go to copy entities. Copy the entire front view. Sorry. Use box. Select all the lines. It will ask from where to where. From this reference point to this reference point. It should be on XY line. Next, you know, base inclination is equals to 90 minus axis inclination. So 90 minus 45 is 45. So I can directly go to rotate entities and I can mention E1 as my center of rotation, and you can see clockwise rotation, so it is negative, and angle is 45. Why angle is 45? Because base inclination is 90 minus axis inclination. Okay, click OK. Now move this. So select this, go to move entities, move it towards your left side so that for the third position there is sufficient space. Now let us drop the projectors from A1 dash to A1. Similarly B1 dash, H1 dash. There are 2 points. So B1 is here, B1 to H1 over. Next is C1, G1. So first is G1, next below is C1. Next we have O1 also, which is in the same line, like this. Next comes D and F. So this is F1 and the below one is D1. Next point is E1, which is in the middle. Okay, this completes the base. Now let us go to the top face, A. Along the same projector, it will go to A. Similarly, B and H. So first I'll get H. It is this projector. Since it is the same line, I will need not draw one more line on top of it. Similarly, this is B. Next is CG. So first I'll get G. Next below I'll get C. After this we have O also. O will be along this line. So I'll be drawing line from this point to this. So this becomes O. Next, go to line again, D and F. So where is F? This is where F is. This is where the D is. Next, go to E dash. This is where E is. So from here connect to this. So this completes the projectors. Now let us name it. So until unless you name, you will not be able to make out A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, O. Okay, let us name this base now. So here top face, sorry, A, B is here, C is here, D is here, F is here, E is here, G is here, H is here, O is here. So once you complete the top face, you can just use Control key, select all the text, only the text you copy, do not copy anything else apart from the text. Control C, click here, Control V. So it will paste approximately. Now you can add 1. So this is A1, A1, similarly H1. You can easily add or edit the text. You can keep adding 1, E1, D1, F1, G1. Okay, like this you can add it and you can place it precisely to that location where it corresponds to. So this is E1, D1, D1. After this, next step is, you can see from top the circle will appear as an ellipse. Similarly, the base will appear as an ellipse, and we will draw the outline. So let me go to sketch, go to ellipse here. Ellipse, you can see here, this is the center, minor axis, major axis. Okay, similarly this is the center, minor axis and major axis. So when you view from top, this entire face, that is the top face, will be visible. So I can make this top face as 0.5 mm because it is completely visible, and I can draw these two tangential lines as outline, which is also visible. Then comes the base. Base, partially you can see this portion of the base is an outline, so it will become visible. So let me go to trim and let me trim this unwanted line and let me make this arc as 0.5. Okay, so this portion of the ellipse is visible. What about the remaining portion? This portion will become hidden. In order to draw that, either you can draw a complete ellipse and you can make it hidden, or you can go to partial ellipse. You can go to center, the start point. This is where it starts, it ends. Okay, like this you can create it. So select this, make it to 0.5, go to dash, make it to dash. So this portion of the ellipse is hidden. Clear? Now comes the axis line. So from here, this portion, this and this. So these three line segments I'll select and I'll make it to chain type. So this is the axis. Next comes the last position. So in the last position you can see here, they have given true inclination as 30 degree and this is apparent length. You can see this length from here to here, it's not true length. So true length of the axis is 65. The apparent length is 45.96. Okay, let us draw its. So let me draw the true inclination, which is 30 degree. Select these two, say 30 degree. Okay, next step. Now you go to arc by center point. So arc by center point, select a center, cut an arc of 65. Okay, cut an arc of 65. If it is getting overlapped, you can always drag this Y beyond the required dimension. You can draw a boundary and you can extend this XY line. Now you can drag this and you can leave it, or you can make use of move command. Select this, move from here till here. Okay, like this you can, if you feel dragging is creating a problem, you can always move it. Now I'll go to arc by center point and I'll cut an arc of 65. Okay, approximately it should be 65. I'll use extend entities and I'll extend this up to this. I'll go to smart dimension and I will dimension this as 65. So this 30 degree is true inclination, the 65 is true length of the axis. Now I'll draw a locus. I'll go to arc by center point. Before I go to arc by center point, I'll copy this dimension. Which is required for smart dimension. So go to arc by center point, place the cursor on the arc, center will get highlighted, click here, 45 approximately. You can see the distance 45. Okay, 45, cut an arc, go to smart dimension, select this, Control V, done. Now you will go to trim and I'll trim this arc portion. I'll connect this end point to the center of the circle and I'll extend. You can see the collinear, extend. Now this angle is beta. Okay, so this angle is beta, that is, you can see here, true inclination is 30, upper end inclination is 45. I'll delete this 65 as well as 45.96. Now my duty is to copy and rotate to beta because this is upper end length. Now how do I copy? Go to copy entities, use box, select the ellipse along with line segments along with the text. Click here, start point, mention the start point as this O, and your center of rotation is the center around which you have drawn arcs, right? That will be your center. Then click OK. If you get any entity, you can see here it is saying over constraint. You can select the red color and you can delete it. Okay, not a problem. Now I'll go to rotate entities. I'll select using box. Make sure you have selected all the line segments except the reference line. So this line should not be rotated. Only the copied entity should be rotated. So ensure that arcs are not selected, locus is not selected, right? Center of rotation. This is your center of rotation. So what angle? 45 degree, or else you can just drag it and you can leave it on that 45 degree. You can see anti-clockwise rotation, 45 degree. Click OK. So this completes the top view, and there is sufficient space between XY line and the object. Do not place it on XY line. Okay, there should be sufficient space between the top view and XY line. Now let us drop projectors from all the points. Now we can start with A1. This is where A1 is. A1 to A1 dash. Similarly B1 and H1. This is H1. This is H1 dash. Similarly B1. So there are two points on the same line. So I can connect those 2 points. G1 and C1 are on the same point. So this is G1. This is C1. And this is O. From here to here. So C1, G1 and O1, everything will be on the side. So here I think naming, I didn't change this to O1. Change it to O1. Similarly here also change it to O1. Okay. Now let me place this nearer. Okay. Now let me go to the remaining points. That is D1 and F1. So this is D1, This is F1. I'll connect to this and I'll draw projector onto F1. Last point is E1, which is on XY line. Okay, so this completes the base. Now let us go to the top face now. So A, B, C, D, E. You can start with A. This is A to A dash. Next is H. H to H dash. Next B. B to B dash. Next is G. G to G dash. O. O to O dash. C. Okay. Next is F. D. So F dash, D dash. Next comes E to E dash. Okay. So this completes the top face also. Now let us name this using annotation note. So A dash, B dash, C dash, D dash, E dash, F dash, G dash, H dash, O dash. Okay. Now you drag this to the corresponding location. This is A. Okay. This is B. And this is C. And this is D. And this is E. This is F. This is G. This is H. And this is O. So similarly, I can just copy this text. 1. Hold Control key. Select the remaining text. Okay. Control C. Click here. Control V. So approximately you can place it to the nearest point so that you can edit it. So this is E1. E1 dash. This is C1 dash. D1 dash. D1 is here. C1 is here. O1. Next is B1. This is B1. A1. G1. And this is H1. Okay. After this, what you should do is you should draw ellipse. Here we don't have the minor axis and major axis. We know the center of the ellipse, so we can't use ellipse option, which is available here. So what we do is we make use of spline tool. So what I will do is I'll go to spline and I'll connect all the points like this. You can see here you can delete it. Spline. Don't select any random points. Select all the end generators. Okay. This is one of the ellipse. Similarly, you can connect these points to get the ellipse. Okay, done. After this, I'll go to line. I'll draw a line here and I'll make sure the line is tangent. You can see this line is tangent to this ellipse. So sometimes it snaps. So be careful with the lines which you are applying. So let me draw this line here and let me try to apply tangent. Select these two, apply tangent. Similarly, select this, apply tangent. Yes, you can trim this portion. Wherever it becomes tangent, zoom in, trim it. Similarly, zoom in, trim it. Okay, add tangent here. Select this, say tangent. Now you go to trim. Sometimes due to the constraint, the tangent might not be applicable on one of the sides. So what you can do, you can try for the other side and you will get the exact point. So I have drawn the tangent line here. As you can see here, this portion of the ellipse is coming below XY line. How do I have a control over this? You can just right click on spline. You can say add tangent control and mention that point here and slowly drag it towards the XY line, towards the XY line, and click OK. After this, I should remove this point. So right click on this, say show spline handles, right? Remove this. So it will be off. Right? You can do that in order to make sure that it is not crossing XY line. Now as you can see here, this entire base is nearer to the observer. This will be visible. F portion will be hidden. So this portion will be hidden and this portion will be visible. So I can easily select this, and select this, and I can make it 0.5 mm. Okay, this portion is fixed now. Only this portion I need to take care. The problem here is if I trim this, you can observe what will happen. So you will get an entity like this, so which is wrong. Okay, so what I will do now is I'll delete this entire spline. I'll go to spline tool again. I'll start from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, then I'll press escape. This is one portion of the ellipse which I have created. Once again I'll go to spline. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I'll press escape. After connection this. Now I can have a control on two line segments. So one is 0.5, the other one is dash. You can see here, this is hidden and this is visible, 0.5. Now comes the axis. Connect O1 dash to O1. Select this line, make it to chain type. So this completes problem on cylinder. Happy learning. Bye.